Alright, looking at Polygon here. It's been a little bit since I looked at this, but yeah, same as the other cryptocurrencies. I guess it completely fell through the floor and completed this trade. I mean, I never got an entry. Oops. I never got an entry on it, and I mean, it just kind of went crazy and fell a ton. But so my goal here was to break 67.62, which it would have done here. But even then, this wasn't really enough to really consider an entry. So yeah, I don't think I wouldn't have entered this even if I had seen it at the time. But I mean, maybe once breaking this zone, I probably would have entered it because that was significant here. But this candle here, not really enough. But this 4-hour candle, I probably would have entered. Something like this would have kept my stop above these. And then, yeah, would not have expected it to go down this far. My target would have been first probably this zone. And then if it kept going and seemed strong, I would have held it to this area, but I would not expect it to do this in 3 days. This is crazy. I expected this to maybe take the entire month to go from here to here. So, but yeah, did it really quick now. So time to reevaluate this. We can delete all these zones, clean this up a little bit here, and see what we're working with. I guess all these are irrelevant now because we annihilated them. Delete all this, delete all this. So now we're in this major zone here. So for the last 4 days, it's been really respecting this area. You can see that it flew in here with this huge bearish candle, and now it's kind of just been a little bit flat. It's been the weekend, today's Saturday, so that does have something to do with it. But ideally, looking at this zone now, maybe clean this, gonna shrink the zone up a little bit, so keep it like this. But what we'll do is we'll actually adjust this zone. Hold on, I gotta delete this because it's just too big. Why is this so big? There we go. Delete this zone here. So what had happened originally, so this would have been like your original zone, right, based on these candles here. And then price flies into the zone, and because this candle closed, it actually pushed this zone down to about here. And then what we can do is clean this up. We'll shrink this up for now. So this is kind of our new zone that we're working with, and so far price is holding above this area. I'm looking, it's actually right at 5,700. So again, price loves whole numbers. So I like this. 0.57. So I'll mark this down. There's your 5,700. Okay, so price is currently respecting that, and I'm not sure if it's going to pull up or anything like that. It might decide to retrace because it moves so much without any pullbacks. There was, I wouldn't call that one because that didn't hit 50%. So there's been no pullbacks at all in this entire move here. So there is a chance that it comes back up to, all the way back up to 50%, to be honest, or it gets stuck at this 38.2, which would be right here at around 6,800 kind of thing. So I could see it coming back up here eventually if it doesn't continue to move down. If it continues to move down, well, then this trade is or this move is insignificant. But you can see these last 4 days after this huge move, it's been struggling a little bit more. But this moving average, this is what I'm going to base my opinions off of, this is the 1 hour moving average. We need price to break above this moving average. That's kind of the first thing. So you can see it is making higher highs, barely. I mean, like barely. This one compared to this one compared to this one. So I mean, this one's not even higher than this one, but you can see you got some lower lows coming in. You got like these 3 wicks kind of thing. So it is coming up a little bit, but definitely not enough to consider a buy position based on that like suspected retracement trade that could be possibly brewing. There's a chance that this is burnt out for the month though, so like it normally moves, I mean this says 42 cents, but there's no way because that's just the average over these last 10 months. But I mean these are currency pairs that are all over the place, so it's moved 15 cents already this month. So I don't know if that's a lot, like in comparison to all the other months it's not, but I don't think it has that much to move anymore. So, but as far as a retracement trade goes, I do like that idea. I'm going to delete this zone. I don't think it's that important. I'm going to delete this zone too. The zone that I'm focused on for price to come back up to is this area for a few reasons. So this is the previous, first off, 7,000, nice whole number. Second of all, it's in between the 38.2 and the 50%. And then this is where the last upper wicks were. So we have bottom wicks here. So that showed us where the resistance to the downside was. And so, I mean, this can still function as resistance now. So when price comes up, it might struggle with this area, but it's going to struggle more with this area because this should be the highs. This was the higher liquidity area. This is where the sellers would get in. So, you know, I think price is more likely to come up here. If it starts to come up, I think it's going to break this area and come up more, because it's probably going to do more of a deeper retrace, either to 50% or 618. I don't think it'll quite make it up to 618, but I think between the 38.2 and the 50% is probably a decent one. And you can just see that you know how prices respected this area before. So resistance, broke, resistance inside the zone, broke, came down, resisted this area, came back up, and then boom, resisted this one again a few times, and then finally breaking down. So I do think it could come back to that area. So I would just wait for a possible, you know, wait for price to cross over this 1 hour. So it might still take a few days. It's pretty slow now. But this is the main area here, this 57 area, 5700. You can see it's held these wicks before on a weekly. You can even extend it all the way to this one. Held that before. Was support and resistance for these candles as well. So very significant level it's at right now. So there's a good chance that it gets bought up and doesn't want to go down anymore. But I would wait for price to cross over this 1 hour moving average for sure. I'd like to see some big bull candles come out of this. Like this doesn't count. And these ones are bearish, they're weak. So we definitely need some bull candles to come out of this zone, and then yeah, start making higher highs and some higher lows, and on all the time frames. And then yeah, we'll look for this retrace. But I can't believe it moved this much so quickly. Kind of didn't plan for it, so but missed out on a big move, I guess. But we'll just have to wait for the next one. So that's what I'm waiting for. Probably be something like this when it sets up. If it sets up, that'd be the, you know, that's the keyword. If it sets up. So something like that. So yeah, all in good time. We'll see how it plays out. That is Polygon.